You know, different people come from different places in life. And just because you get saved, even if you have a heart change in the beginning,
That's right. I like
that doesn't mean that that you don't have strongholds that you still need to overcome. So, okay, listen, this is true. Because when I got saved, when God grabbed my heart, and He did, He set me free from 8 drugs that had me bound for years, that ADRC couldn't cure, that probation couldn't cure, jail couldn't cure, prison couldn't cure, all these drug and alcohol rehabilitations and rehabs, and get my stomach pumped with black charcoal, in the psych ward. They put me in the psych ward for all this stuff. And God gave me a testimony so I could reach out to people for real. But here's the reality of it. Just because we get saved does not mean that we don't still deal with things. And so it's very important to recognize and be honest with ourselves what we deal with. Because at the end of the day, it's you and God. It's you and God. It's me and God. And so if I know that I have a struggle with pornography, if that is a real struggle, or if there's a spirit of homosexuality, or there's a spirit of even witchcraft, anything, then it is my responsibility to identify that problem and have the willingness to want to confront it. But the way that we are motivated to confront that is by having brothers and sisters around us that can open up. One of the things that I loved so much, and it's a two-sided coin, it's kind of fun a little bit, but I was sitting in a car with one of the guys that was at the leadership, the church that I go to. When I got saved, the only thing I knew how to do was music. I didn't graduate. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to even balance a checkbook. The only thing I knew how to do was music. And I said, Lord, I'll give this to you if you use it. And He did. That was the one thing I gave to Him, and He multiplied it, and He multiplied it, and multiplied it. Now I'm here, and I'm able to do so many other things. However, in that time when I had got converted and saved, and I started going to church, there was a male leader that I sat in the car with one time, and you don't really feel open to talk about your problems. You don't. I mean, really. What if one of you stood up and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm really, really struggling with pornography, and I'm married, and I need help." You don't just openly talk about that in church and things because you're afraid of what people in the church might say. Let's be real. Let's be real. It's not that you don't deal with those things, and it's not even that people can't help guide you, and that's why we got programs like Celebrate Recovery, and we have other programs that ministers and people have gone through and dealt with, that now they're able to confront those issues where you can sit in a group of people, and what is said in that group stays in that group, and you're allowed to confess your faults one to another, which the Lord says brings healing. God gives forgiveness. God can bring forgiveness, but the Lord Himself says that confess your faults one to another that you may be healed. So we need to be able to have discipleship. We need to be able to have men, women with younger women, to be able to help work through those things. Because we all come from different backgrounds and different places. You know, your mama might have whooped you different than my mama whooped me. You know what I'm saying? You might have struggles and things you truly deal with that you need healing, emotional healing from. And me is the same. I was molested. My God, I was 7 years old. Wow. I was 7. I was terrified. You know what kind of doors? And I didn't have my dad there to be like, hey, son, it's going to be okay. It wasn't your fault. I didn't have none of that. So I had to carry all that weight with me. And I went through hell. Hell. It was bad. But when I got a hold of Christ, Christ saved me, and He put His Spirit in me, which gave me the desire and the want to be transformed. To want to be healed, but it didn't come overnight.
And that's where your prayer life, I think the prayer life can't be understated. That's why, to me, that daily, because it's not just that first yes to God. You got to see another yes, and that comes through your prayer life. You got to be constantly under the hand of God. Let's see.